Applegate and Dillman Elder Law is committed to improving life for our seniors. The firm recently held a Partners in Aging Forum for senior healthcare professionals to build relationships while discussing industry challenges they are experiencing. Here are a few video highlights.
Unfortunately, planning for aging in multiple different scenarios are put off so much. When we're getting calls at CICOA, it's a lot of times it's like they're at their breaking point. Their family member is no longer able to care for them. They still have a full-time job themselves.
They're handed on discharge. Here's a list. Here's a list. And the social workers, case managers are overworked and stretched so thin they don't have the time to go through and explain each and every one. But if we can be on that list, maybe we would be fortunate enough to get the call and be able to take that time.
It's amazing how many times we meet people within that system that don't know that we're there or those services are being offered. So it's a huge challenge, and the thing that works the best is what's kind of been said in what we've experienced over the years, and that is we have people that go and introduce themselves and get to make sure that we're on the list.
There's no literacy. Do we qualify for hospice? What is palliative care? Do we talk to them now? I don't want to talk to them now. All of that is like...
It's really hard when you're in the weeds.
It's really hard when you're in the weeds, and it's like, that was my one statement, is that there needs to be more of a general education prior to being required.
They're picking up the pieces that they have for the equation. They only see this much of the equation. So they're doing the best they can for that equation. So everything is just so fragmented. That's the challenge. Everything is so fragmented, and we don't have that literacy between all sides of the equation.
I have to call the physician, I have to call this person, I'm going to make sure that the SNF is involved if I need them to be. Oh yeah, I have to call that daughter back. What time is it? Like, there's so many different communication avenues. It's very hard to get everyone all together on the same page at the same time with all those different schedules and all those different things that you're trying to do.
This is hospice, this is palliative, this is nursing care, assisted living. There's so many different options, home health, that, and again, it's impossible for the primary care physician to sit there and go over every single thing. So it is that education gap on how do we get that to people before they make up their own, mind about it.
The quality of life for everyone involved would have been so much better, but the way the system is now, there's a lot of people that are just waiting until past the breaking point before they finally get pointed in the right direction.
So I think dementia can be really easy to kind of mask in the system, but then it can really have a negative impact on comorbidities and other health conditions, and that can impact outcomes from a hospital or health system perspective too.
Caregivers are usually have kids of their own. They have full-time jobs. They're burnt out. They're tired. They're stressed. They're taking time off work, which is costing your employers that you're working with lots and lots of money. It's like billions, a year across the U.S.
So we introduced that, but this piece here, it's not the top line item for employers or employees right out there dealing with what's happening, but it should be introduced, because when it does happen to that 40-year-old or 50-year-old person, it makes things 10 times worse for them.
Growing friction between the system and the families, and we're all blaming something bigger, but we can't identify it. And I really think it's the infrastructure around training, it's the infrastructure around how we exchange information. Like, those are the things we need to solve, rather than spending kind of some of the energies that we all do trying to put our Band-Aids on the dam.
Do infrastructure issues in senior health care feel like you're putting Band-Aids on a dam? How can caregivers in the future be better educated? Add a comment below or send a message to share your thoughts.